Hello all, good afternoon. Okay, today I am in farm, just enjoying the cool weather here. You all can see all the greenery just behind me. Actually today I have one experience to share with you. It's all about my first interview experience. The purpose of sharing this experience here is actually how people do face problems due to English. It was 2013. I had just completed my graduation and went Pune. Purpose was only job, nothing else, and it was the first time when I reached to Pune. So there, before to that, I was never been to Pune ever. So it was the first time in Pune also. So one of my friend, actually he had completed his MBA. He was well educated and he has well experience in corporate industry. So he was knowing each and everything in and out about this industry, and I was not aware about any single thing actually, how it happens, how interview goes in corporate industry, and how to tackle these interviews and how we can go ahead. Nothing. I had no single experience prior to that. So he guided me during that time. So actually how to prepare for interview and how to answer questions, in interview, actually what kind of questions interviewer will ask and how you have to respond them back. So he guided me actually what kind of questions you have to prepare. So there were a few common questions, even new people will know about this. So common questions were like, tell me about yourself, about your family background, or about your strengths, weaknesses, what do you want to join our company, what do you like the most about this company. So all these kind of common questions he asked me to prepare well, and accordingly I followed him and I prepared myself in this way. So I was preparing for 1 week, and he arranged one interview for me in his friend's company. So that day I had an interview. So I went to that company, and it was in Hinjodi phase 1. Even all this infrastructure was new for me, even each and everything. Okay, wherever I was looking and I was watching, all the infrastructure, all the people, all the environment, everything was new for me. So it was quite difficult to manage myself in that environment. Still I decided to go forward, move on, and I carried all my educational certificates, one print of resume, and went to office. So already there were more than 15 people in the waiting room who were waiting for interview, came for interview. So once I reached to office, I submitted my resume to the reception, and so I sat in waiting room and waiting for interviewer's call for interview. So situation was, the rooms were full of AC, and I was experiencing first time. Before to that, prior to that, I had no experience of AC and no experience of this kind of professional peoples. I never been experienced prior to that. This was the first time I was tackling to that guys, or I was experiencing this kind of people, this kind of environment. One by one, everybody was going in, coming out, going in, coming out. Interviews were happening, and finally, the interviewer called me. So I knocked the door. I went inside and completed the formalities. Hi, hello, how are you? And then she asked me to have a seat. I thanked her and sat in chair. So she started reading my resume, and she asked me first question, tell me something about yourself. So I became very happy. Why? Because she asked me the question which was familiar to me, which I had practiced a lot. I answered well. Again she asked couple of questions which were familiar to me, kind of what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, how long you will work with this company, or what do you know about this company. So all these kind of simple questions she asked, which I had practiced already. So all this went well, easy for me. So till that time there won't be any issue. Suddenly she changed the line of asking questions, and she asked me one question: how did you come to know about this job? Though it is very simple question, even today I feel that it was very simple question she asked me. But that time, as my English communication was very poor, I could not understand what she was asking me or what she wanted to ask me. Even I could not understand the exact meaning of this sentence, of this question. So I totally lost there, and I started looking around here and there, started murmuring in Marathi, Hindi, English. So almost fell. I lost interview. I failed over there. So just she kept looking at me for 1 minute actually, how I am doing, how I am performing, or how I am struggling to speak. And she just waited for a couple of seconds and she handed my resume back to me and said, your English is very poor, you can try later. And she closed the interview. I came out from the cabin and went to basement floor. I sat on bench and started thinking actually, what is my value? Today I have completed graduation with distinction, but I got failed here just due to poor English communication. So at the end, what I understood that time, if you want to sustain in this industry, or if you want to make your career in corporate industry, you will have to learn English, you will have to speak English, then only you will sustain in this industry. That day I realized there is no other choice rather speaking English. Anyhow, you have to learn English, you have to speak English. Then I started practicing English every day. In between, I think it took me almost 2 months to prepare or to start speaking basic English, because I used to work on my grammatical parts. I used to work on a few simple sentences that we people speak in our daily life. So that's how I started practicing, and again after 2 months I went to same company for interview, and that day got selected, because that day I had little more confidence with me. I had little more improvement in my English communication. So that day I could perform well, I could crack my interview and got selected. So that's how. My purpose is to share this experience here. So if we people don't want to experience this kind of problems, so it's better to prepare well in advance and go for interview. So that's it. I hope you got my point, and I hope for sure you will take all this on serious note and you will start practicing English spoken, so that in future you will not face this kind of problems. Thank you.